It is Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. This is another edition of Baseball Today presented to you by Mountain Dew. Looking for a refreshing citrusy kick this summer? Go grab yourself a Mountain Dew. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan, intern Sawyer along for the ride as well. All right, dude, looking forward to seeing you coming up this week for Floorball 4.
I know, unfortunately, we're not on the same flight like we usually are, so we can't, hold hands the whole way. I know you're going to be scared without me. It's going to be okay, Chris.
It'll be all right. All right. We'll make it. We got some new additions. We got some fun returning familiar faces for Floorball 4, and you'll see that coming up in a couple of months. But once again, after Wednesday's show, we will not have shows on Thursday and Friday because we'll be a little busy taping in the we got to come up with a name for the warehouse. I think that's what we need.
Is the warehouse?
Yeah, but that's not a nickname. Like, we need a nickname for that place.
The box.
Right? I don't know what we call it. We'll take suggestions in the comments if you want to. Thank you.
Okay.
Start off with a little tip of the cap. Good finish between the Cardinals and the Dodgers. Lars Nootbaar ran 116 feet to snag this Mookie Betts blooper and keep Shohei Ohtani at first. Outstanding. He's one of those guys that the Cardinals were thinking about trading, and they hung on to him. He's a guy that if he ever stayed healthy, I would like to see what a full season for this guy would really look like.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable catch, and that no doubt, like almost at least the game would be tied if that ball falls. If not, they're going to definitely win because Shohei's going to be on third base, Mookie's going to be on second base. The way they hit with runners in scoring position,
yeah.
So game-saving play. Add 1 or 2 defensive run saves. That's how I calculate that right there.
It's a good question. How do you calculate that?
Nobody knows, Chris. Nobody knows how to calculate defensive metrics.
That's why
in real time.
Why is it such a heavy part of WAR then?
I don't know. That's at least 1, right?
You would think, because if it rolls away, then Shohei is probably yeah.
What's the win probability added to? That's got to be a lot. So I would
think so. Yeah. It's all good stuff.
Yeah, nice catch.
All right, let's start off the main show here with Kyle Schwarber. Yeah, welcome to the 40 Club again.
And a high fly ball out to right field. Does he have it again? He does! Grand slam, Kyle Schwarber!
Yep. Another 40 homer season for him. Dude is absolutely ridiculous. Is he MVP material?
I mean, he's MVP vote material, but they don't give MVPs to DHs unless you go 50-50. So or almost 60-60. I think he's in the conversation. I understand what he means to the city of Philadelphia and that team. I love watching this guy play, but that's just the facts is, even with this season he's putting up, like he's not going to win MVP because he doesn't play the field. Like that's just how it is, Chris. That's how it's always been. You have to do something completely outrageous. If this guy gets to 60 homers, like maybe we're talking. But as of, kind of the trajectory he's on right now, although it's a great one and he's going to have a great season, I just don't think that he's going to surpass Fernando Tatis, a Pete Crow Armstrong, probably not even a Shohei. Like that, those are the guys that are, definitely a Shohei.
Well, I would agree with a couple of those guys. I think even though Pete Crow Armstrong has slumped a little bit, I don't even think he started last night. And Shohei has not, we've documented this, he has not hit nearly as well since he started pitching again in mid-June. Schwarber, it's interesting because when you watch him, you feel like whenever he hits a homer, that for whatever reason, it's more uplifting than when most guys hit homers. I don't know if it's because they're so majestic. I don't know. Like, did you hear? I want you to listen to the sound from last night when he went deep. They had the MVP chance going, and then he hits the homer. So just listen to what was going on in Philly. Like, doesn't it just... Is it just Philadelphia? Is it because of the acoustics of that place? Or is it because when Schwarber does it, it feels different?
There's been a couple of those videos. There was the Bryson Stott one. I think it was from
Yes.
the playoffs a couple years ago. I mean, those videos where it's just crowd audio only they're amazing. And his swing, Chris, is so pure. It's like so compact, so precise. Like the delivery of the barrel is perfect. And he mashes the ball. So yeah, it sounds a little different off his bat.
He does. So I think we both agree that he's not, I would have him maybe third or fourth in the NL MVP voting, which for a pure DH is pretty damn good. I'd like to know if anybody else thinks that he has a chance of finishing higher. I mean,
you talked about PCA slumping. It's been a couple games. I mean, the guy just had an incredible July. I keep thinking I'm seeing the same thing. It's because his on base percentage isn't great.
I guess
power numbers continue to be there.
Yes.
So like the OPS has stayed largely the same.
So I should take that back. I wouldn't say slumping, but maybe some of the way he's getting to his numbers are a little bit different.
A little bit different, yeah. But yeah, I would say right now, I haven't looked up the odds yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say it's him and Ohtani and Tatis before Schwarber.
Okay. Tatis has only hit 4 homers in the last 2.5 months.
He's such a good defense too. It's like
I know.
That's why those guys are going to get those votes.
Yeah, that's all fair. I mean, fair in terms of your assessment. I don't know if it's fair in terms of that being the way we want to.
Would you change that? You'd like to see more DHs involved? I think I'm fine with that.
It's hard to like a great diving catch in the second inning that may have saved a run. You tend to forget it very quickly. A 7th inning homer that has you going from trailing 4-2 to being up 5-4 is something that you'll remember.
Yeah, but
even though they might have done the same ish sort of thing.
I mean, you can have high leverage in the second inning. Yeah, I go back and forth with that too. I understand what you're saying. Like you have the stats, like clutch, late, what you do in those situations. But we know that you can have the highest leverage situation come early in the game too. Although you might not remember it at the end. Yeah,
it's like golf, last in, first out. So the last thing you remember is the first thing going to be out of your mouth when you're talking about the game. That's just the way, for the most part, it rolls. Bigger question with Schwarber. Are people going to remember him more as a Philly or a Cub?
When you sent that over, I was like, damn, that's a really, really good question. Because obviously, breaking the curse, 2016, when he had that real good facial hair down there in Chicago.
He did not play all season.
Yeah.
He had to rehab in Arizona. And the only reason he was able to play was because there were 4 road games in the World Series. If the Cubs have home field advantage, there's a possibility he doesn't have as big an impact.
If he re-signs with Philly, I think we remember him in Philly. I mean, I guess they have to win too, because you have the image of him with, a World Series champ there in Chicago. It is difficult. I kind of go back and forth on this one. I think if he re-signs with Philly, then we probably remember him as a Philly. The numbers will be better. The stay will be longer. I forgot he was a Washington National for half a season. Mm-hmm. They traded him for like a minor league pitcher to the Red Sox. He actually had really, really good numbers with them as well. But I would say, yeah, Philly.
He already has 50 more homers as a Philly than he did as a Cub. Just to let you know. 2
great franchises that, have just seen this guy, flourish at the big league level. So I understand why Cubs fans would say, hey, he's ours. He was part of that crew. We'll never forget that crew. That's for sure. Like that core of players. They're going to be he's going to be going to Cubs legend days, whatever the heck, they have there. Like he'll be going to those as well as Philadelphia. He's one of those guys. Like Jim Thome comes to mind when you're talking about this guy goes, he'll go to Cleveland, he'll go to the White Sox, spend time with the Twins. Like he's had big moments at a couple different places.
Yeah, I think maybe people are maybe it's just because he's wearing their uniform right now. So it's probably unfair to ask the question. He probably has to be retired full 5 years to answer the question fully. Let's say he doesn't win a World Series in Philly, but he gets to 500 homers. He's definitely a Philly, right?
Yeah, I think he's a Philly if he stays there.
And he would go in wearing a Phillies cap.
If he goes somewhere else next year, I mean, I think it'll be much closer to, which one he was more important to, Cubs or Phillies.
Yeah. And I wonder if at all, like you listen to the chants, and he's been asked lately, like remember when he hit, he got his 1,000th career hit recently, and it was a home run, and there were 3 guys who came down and he was going to exchange the ball, and he only brought out 2 balls for the guys, and he was going to go back and get a 3rd ball for a guy. And he said, I don't care about the ball. Just re-sign with Philadelphia. That'd be good enough. I wonder how much of his offseason decision will strictly be financial and how much of it will be the fact that it feels like that city has embraced him to the nth degree. I mean, I'm not talking about $20 million difference. I'm talking about a couple million over the life of a 4-year contract.
Say that question again.
What I'm saying is that he is so beloved in Philly.
Yes.
That when it comes down to it, I'm not talking about a $20 million gap between an offer from somebody outside of Philadelphia and Philadelphia, but I'm talking about, let's say there's a $4 million gap over a 4-year life of a contract. So $1 million a year. He would be giving up $1 million a year to remain in Philly, where he knows the system, he's beloved, he presumably likes his teammates, his situation. I wonder if that factors in.
I 100% does. I mean, the guy's made over $100 million already, so like you're not necessarily chasing the check anymore. Like you said, there's a certain cutoff where I got to go take that.
Yeah,
you do it for the guys that come after you too. You're trying to set a bar there. But if he had the choice between a $4 million gap from him staying in Philadelphia and say going to, heck, I don't know, name a team, I think he goes back to Philadelphia.
Right.
Come to the Twins.
If the Tigers wanted to give him $100 million to be their DH,
Yeah, you stay in Philly. The ballpark suits him really, really well. Chris, I just looked up NL MVP odds, and I was way off.
What do you got?
So Shohei still leads by a sizable margin. Schwarber is number 2 in current MVP odds. And maybe that's just, lit from last night and the 40 homers and the Grand Slam. I'm looking at WAR for position players in the NL. It is PCA. It is Tatis. It's Kyle Tucker, who I kind of forgot about.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's Ohtani. Schwarber's down at 7.
He's down.
Right now, second in the MVP odds behind Ohtani. And Tatis is isn't even mentioned.
Very quickly before we move on, give me Schwarber's career WAR.
Ooh.
11 seasons.
I know, he doesn't rack up WAR. The last couple of years, I know he's gotten probably the most. I will say he's 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
I would say he's like at 22.
19-3.
Yeah, 19, yeah. DHs just don't rack up WAR.
Nope, they do not. All right. Yankees expect to get their main WAR hero. WAR is in baseball WAR, folks. Aaron Judge back. He's going to DH. He's going to slowly work his way back into the field. He's been dealing with that arm injury. They need to get it going in Texas. Now, the question is his arm good enough to lend support in the bullpen? Because it has been a rickety ride ever since the trade deadline, whether it's the guys that they got in the deals or guys that have been with them the entire season. Both of those reared its ugly head as Texas did damage in the 9th and then walking it off as well.
There's a 2-1. And he hits that ball well. Deep out to right. It's gone. 1-1. And there's a swing and a fly ball. Deep out to left. That one is gone. Josh Young did it.
By the way, Jake Bird sent down early on Tuesday. He's got some stuff to work on. That was huge. And for both of those guys, for Josh Young, it's been an up and down year, literally, between the majors and the minors. And Jock Peterson, for God's sake, I have no idea what has transpired, but Rangers fans are hoping that unleashed a monster.
Yeah, I mean, I think a guy like Jock, sometimes a swing like that will unlock the confidence. I don't know if he's just kind of down on himself or what it may be, but you do get in ruts like that. Even a veteran player who's had success, and you can have a swing like that. It's, that's the guy I am. Oh, yeah, I forgot. So I think that could be the case. And obviously, like you said, the Rangers fans are hoping for that.
Hitting a $132 in almost 150 at bats this year. He missed a lot of time because of injury. He's never had fewer than 15 homers in a full season. He has a negative 1.1 WAR. Man.
You know what's weird is like the walk to strikeout ratio is still fine. Sometimes you look, I'm like, okay, is he just going to be striking out with no patience whatsoever? But he's actually walked at a decent clip. But yeah, he's got to get that power stroke going. That's his calling card. He's got to look at Schwarber and be like, I want to be like that guy.
You're right, and he has been great. He's hit some huge homers. Great. You know, he's been traded all over the place for playoff runs, and the Rangers brought this guy in to be that dude the entire season. And
don't you say, okay, just fast forward 2 months. Would it shock you if all of a sudden Jock Peterson is the guy leading the charge, big clutch homers for the Rangers? This is the time of the season they brought him in for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his expression last night as he left the batter's box where he's yelling, "Don't F with me." Don't F with me. Great. All right, so the Yankees had this all laid out. Everybody had done their job. Luke Weaver had done it in the 6th. Camilo Duvall, nice job by him. David Bednar, nice job. They turn over a 1-run lead to their closer, Devin Williams, and he gives it up. He has now allowed runs in 5 of his last 7 appearances. His ERA this season is over 5. I get it. ERA is not the thing, but if you just look at his earned runs allowed this year, which I believe is 24, as opposed to his previous 3 seasons combined, which is 26, there is something desperately wrong. He had already been removed from the closer's role once. Is Aaron Boone making a mistake if he doesn't make another change?
I mean, he's done that. He's gone through this before. Like, he's seen his, closer struggle, and then he inserts Luke Weaver and everything's kind of fixed, right? Like, so that seems like the logical thing to do, even though you go get these guys at the trade deadline, Bednar and Duvall, so maybe they get a shot as well. Maybe you go with the hot hand. Maybe that's the card he plays. But I'll tell you what, man, that leads to a lot of decisions every single day that are going to get criticized if you make the wrong one. I like having a set it and forget it closer. I think Boone does as well. That's why he's stuck with Devin Williams as much as he had, and Clay Holmes before that. But yeah, I think you have to, especially at this point in the season where they're at in the standings, Chris, you can't, you have to make a change. If you have a lead in the 9th, in the 8th, you have to have reliable guys back there, or else they're going to be out of the playoff picture like quickly.
Do you really think? Do you think that they're in deep trouble?
I really, really do. Yeah, I do. I mean, you don't. I mean, how close are they to being out of the playoffs? A game and a half?
Yeah, a couple of games.
They're playing the team that's behind them?
Yeah. I just feel like at some point, I think the return of Aaron Judge is going to be a huge emotional boost. Yeah. And I know people will say, well, what does that have to do with the bullpen? You're right. He's very good. He can't do that. But I do think that his presence in a lineup is more uplifting and things of that nature. I will say this. There aren't a lot of teams that have multiple bullpen pieces with at least 100 career saves. So you've got Duvall, who's got 107. You've got Bednar, who's got 101. And you've got Williams. And so I would not give it to Camilo Duvall. I've watched.
You're out on him. Too many.
I'm out on him. There's no way in New York I'm asking that guy to get 3 outs with a 1-run lead in the boogie down. I'm not doing it.
See, I like him. I understand what you're saying. It could get a little rickety there, a little scary. And right now, I don't think they're playing good enough defense to really do that either. That's right. You need a guy that's just striking people out.
I think so let's answer the question. Is he making a mistake if Devin Williams remains the closer?
I mean, yeah. I think you have to try somebody different.
Would you give it to Weaver?
Could it be Weaver?
Would you give it to Weaver? I know it could be. Would you?
I'd have to think about that more. Because like you said, you got some guys with some real deal experience back there. But I mean, the fact that he's done it at Yankee Stadium in a Yankee uniform before, I think he probably puts him on top of the pile for me.
Yeah, I think I'd go that direction. I'd have the other guys Just line up and say, here's your shot. Devin Williams, by the way.
Bednar strikes people out, and that's really, really nice. Mm-hmm. I know he had not a great beginning to his Yankee career, but I think I'd go Weaver, Bednar, Doval as far as pecking order for me.
I think so too. By the way, just to clarify, Devin Williams does not yet have 100 career saves. He's got 85. But the two guys they traded for do. Jake Bird just sent down. Not shocking. Terrible July for Colorado.
They wore him out.
What's that?
He got worn out early in the season, it looks like. I think they should just rest him down there in AAA, get him back for the end of August into September.
I think he needs to grow back his beard.
I think the Yankees need to shave their beards. I'll still never get over that. I really won't, dude. That's crazy that Devin Williams, the guy we're talking about right now, is the chief culprit of why they have beards now with the Yankees. After how many years of the policy?
So you want to say the downfall of a...
No, I don't. I honestly don't really care, but like it is. It's fun to talk about.
It is.
It really is.
Let us know, what would you do if you were Aaron Boone in terms of the closer situation? Okay? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Two other amazing visuals from last night in Texas. The Stanton home run, 17-degree launch angle. I mean, it looked like a 4-iron off the tee that he blasted.
Dude, it's incredible how hard he hits the ball. He is so strong, and you're right. Like, unbelievable that ball went out. Was it 115-17? Is that what it was?
I think you're right.
Shit. That's crazy.
It was the only ball hit with that trajectory and that exit velo, I believe, that went for a homer this year.
That's just beautiful, true backspin. Just that thing is just ripping.
On the other side of the swing spectrum, we had whatever that was that Marcus Semien did. I'm not sure I've ever seen a player swing this late.
Jake Bird can do that, okay? Like if he's throwing that good sweeper where that just starts at your hip, and then Marcus understands that ball is going to come back. He's just trying to do anything to make contact right there. It's hard, Chris.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I'm not here to make
that thing is coming at you, but you pick the spin up and you know it's going back towards the plate, and you know he's got a ton of horizontal movement. So he's like, oh shit, I gotta swing.
Did anybody ever get you that bad on a pitch?
I'm sure, Chris. I'm sure. I tended to block those from my memory. I'm sure I looked horrible.
I know Millar we used to show Millar's when he played his one season in Toronto. He had a pitch against, I think it was Cole Hamels, where he swung a lot like that, and ball was virtually in the catcher's mitt the time he swung.
We had a game in Chicago where the shadows were so bad that I remember taking a swing. I had like oblique stuff kind of happening, and I couldn't see the ball, and I looked like just a piece of crap up there.
It's okay.
It hurts.
We've all been there. Today's episode, Baseball Today, sponsored by Lids. You know that Lids is the home of headwear. It's now your one-stop shopping for all things Topps, with Topps Chrome in Lids stores now. So whether you're a hardcore collector looking for the hobby box or a casual trading card fan looking for the value box, you can find them at your local Lids store. You want a little more juice than the value box, but don't want to commit to a hobby box? Now you can also find the Topps Chrome Mega Box in stores Wednesday, August 6th, featuring 10 parallels per box. You can also use the code JOHNBOY in stores to get an Access Pass premium membership for free with any purchase of Topps Chrome Baseball Box. Recent APP rewards include front-of-line access to the Ronald Acuna Jr. and John Smoltz meet and greets, sweepstakes for 3-day passes at FanFest, and more. So use the code JOHNBOY in store to get your APP membership today. All right, we continue on here. Reds take a series opener on the north side of Chicago. Good for them. Thanks in part to a wild play in the 8th. Not sure if you saw this, but the Cubs have the tying run at third, down 3-2. Brian Hayes makes a nice play. Dansby Swanson appears to beat it out until you look at the replay, which the Reds did, and so they challenged. You can clearly see that Dansby comes up a little short. His foot does not hit the bag. He does eventually drag it over the bag, but after Spencer Steer catches the ball. So out, end of inning. It's pretty clear. It stinks for the Cubs, but you can see there's a full gap between his right hoof and the base there. Swanson said, in all the years I've been playing baseball, and the decades I've been playing this since I was a little kid, that has never happened to me where I have missed first base at the beginning. Are you surprised that stuff doesn't happen more often?
It does. It does. And now it usually never goes unnoticed. You know what I mean? Because everyone's looking. But a swing like that, you call it a jailbreak, as you're out in front of that ball, and you your momentum is already forward. See how your steps kind of get out of tune right there. And he knew he had to go. Keep Ryan over there. He knows he's going to make the play. It's just how long it's going to take. And he just goes for that one lunge right there and just doesn't get it. He did a great job. I think he ended up dragging the foot, which is a very athletic play to do. But yeah, I missed the bag, man. And again, nothing like that's going to go unnoticed now.
Nope. So good job by the Reds to challenge that one. Great job by them after the kind of rickety weekend they had in the Speedway Classic where they didn't get their pitching in order at all. And they had, Burns gave them an inning. And then last night, Lodolo had to leave because of a blister issue. So they got virtually nothing out of their starting pitching the last 2 days. And for them to get a road win is huge. So the Reds are in this thing, wild card wise. Are they a long shot or are they legitimately in this thing?
I think it depends if they can get their offense kind of clicking because I know they're scoring runs, but I think they need to do a better job, getting runners on and having more opportunities to do that. That's kind of what I think. The starting pitching is excellent. Lodolo, we'll see what's going on with the blister. Hunter Green's almost back. He should be back within a week or so. I guess I don't have a definitive date on that, but he's already made 3 rehab starts. Like he's coming back. So starting pitching is there. Bullpen can get it done. Back end's been all right. Like Santillan's been great for them. Emilio Pagan has been great.
Great.
Barlow has done a great job. You mentioned you got to give credit to their bullpen. As you mentioned, over the last couple of days, they've just been thrown completely to the wolves, basically. After having to come in, cover the game on Sunday, the Dolo exits here. It's like it's not easy to do. So big credit to those guys in doing that. I think they're legit. I do. Again, if they can kind of catch fire offensively and maybe get a little bit more of the long ball going, if they can turn Brian Hayes around a little bit, there are things kind of like little things they have to do, but I do think they're a legitimate threat. I think it's okay to call them a long shot and a legitimate threat. I think that's kind of where they land. I mean, they're still out of the wild card race right now. And you probably wouldn't put them above any of the teams in front of them as far as overall roster. But they have the pieces to get it done for sure.
Yeah, they're only 3 games back of San Diego, who's kind of been slip sliding around a little bit as of late. I'm very, very split on the Reds. I wanted them to do a little bit more. It felt like they were doing things, but it didn't feel like they were doing enough. I would have liked to have seen them get one more big bullpen arm, I would say, even though their bullpen numbers have been outstanding. And Pagan, I got to be honest with you, he just didn't feel like a 9th inning guy this year, and he's had one of the best seasons of his career.
Yeah.
He really has. His strikeout numbers are good. His whip is like 0.91 or something like that. He has been really dependable. More importantly, I did want them to try and get a veteran bat. I know that they didn't move. I know they didn't. But the Reds, it feels like they've got youngish guys that you can move. And they had a surplus of starting pitching, too. They've moved Nick Martinez back to a role in the bullpen. He came out early last night because of the injury to Lodolo. I know they feel like they upgraded with Miguel Andujar, who had a solid season out there with the A's, but I don't know how much of that was Sacramento inflated and how much of it is legit. They say that they can unlock Brian Hayes. I'll believe it when I see it. It just didn't feel like enough. I've always wanted the Reds to step on the accelerator a little bit more.
A power bat would have been big for them.
Yeah. They have very, very little. I think Ellie's the only guy who's got more than a dozen homers for them.
He's got 19 homers. Next up is Spencer Steer with 12.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
In that ballpark, that's
the
low.
lack of power. That's something that they need to either find quickly, or they got to start doing a lot of different things. It's going to be a total manufactured job for them for their runs, which is fine. But we know what that means during the postseason.
All right, Blue Jays, they continue to hit bombs and mash and lead the American League East. They rocketed the Rockies, if you will. Easy for me to say. Dante Bichette, back in his day, 111 career homers at Coors Field. His son tried to catch up in one night.
How is this slider breaking?
High drive by Bo Bichette, deep left field. Beck runs out of room. See you later again. Second homer of the inning for the Blue Jays. Another Bichette home run in Denver, and it's 9-0 Toronto.
Okay, Bo, good for you. Remember in the beginning of the year, we were like, when's that guy ever going to hit a homer? Well, he's been mashing at a pretty good rate. I know we've talked a lot about the Blue Jays and their reemergence over the last 2+ months to dominate their run to the top of the AL East. I want to focus on Bo Bichette, though, because it feels like he's going to be left behind after they extend Vladdy for $500 million, and they're going to tell Bo, okay, go test free agency. We love you, but go test it. How do you think his market is going to play out?
It's a curious one for sure. I think he's going to obviously get a qualifying offer from the Blue Jays, then go out and, sell himself to the other teams. I'm trying to think of, a team that needs a shortstop, but also maybe has a need just for the left side of the infield, because I don't know if he's going to stay at shortstop. The numbers are never good there, but if you hit enough, that you can you can be okay with it. This year, he's hitting much better than he had in the previous couple of years, so that's kind of hiding some of the defensive miscues. I could see, he's young enough where I think he's going to get a 5-ish year deal, 25 a year. So we're looking somewhere like 125, but I don't know who's going to give him that.
Right.
Like the Braves, obviously everyone talks about them and their need for a shortstop. So they're an answer. I don't know if the Blue Jays up him. They kind of have guys ready to take over, whether it's Jimenez could do it, like an Ernie Clement. They have guys there that, and they could reallocate that money somewhere else. I don't think the Blue Jays are in play here anymore. We'll see. That could change.
Right. Does a team like
I'm thinking like the Dodgers, do they take a chance and like put him at shortstop? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Who else? The Yankees, they need a shortstop. I don't think they pay for Bo Bichette. They already, defense is the problem for them, and I don't think that they want him there at shortstop. So I don't know another team really that he kind of fits.
So he's going to be 28 next spring. He's on pace for over 70 extra base hits.
That's cool.
Which would be a career high for him. So when you think about position players that are about to hit the market, is his free agency going to be more interesting than Alex Bregman, who's 31 years old and can opt out? Is it going to be more interesting than Cody Bellinger, who's 30 years old and can play multiple positions and has had a great year with the Yankees? Is it more interesting than Pete Alonso, who, he signed a 2-year deal, but he can opt out after this first and might test the market yet again? I think it is fascinating because when you mention 28-year-old shortstop, that automatically you're thinking $200 million, and that's not.
No, it's not going to happen. I don't think 200 is going to happen for him.
No, and I think you assessed it pretty well. I would say 5 for 125 is a number that would be, but I wonder if it's a team that is going to overpay for him and say he's like our centerpiece.
But like what team? What team is it? Like, I don't think, like, I was thinking, okay, like, do the Phillies move Trey Turner off, and does he go to the Phillies? And he kind of like fits that whole, like, we mash and worry about defense later model that they have there.
Well, you could put him at third.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You have to have the flexibility to do both.
Yeah, but if they have to, keep Schwarber here.
You put Trey in center field, and hopefully that works out. You put Bichette at short or third base.
That's interesting. I don't know. Let us know where he fits best. This is a hard one. It's not as easy as you think it is.
I don't think he fits for the Yankees. I think that's just like, everyone's mad at Volpe, but it'd be the same thing, kind of.
Right. There's no team in the American League Central that would pay for him.
No.
NL Central.
The Braves might be the team that overpays.
I don't know.
But you need another bidder, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've narrowed it down to the Braves,
Mm-hmm.
the Phillies,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it.
I mean, is there any team that needs
Do
a
the
third
Mariners go out and do something like that?
instead of J.P. Crawford?
Well, you can also put him at third base.
Yeah, they're going to need that because both their
Gino's
corner-
gone. Ben Williamson, they gave a shot there. You got a more. You want hitting.
Well, I hear a lot of people love Ben Williamson defensively, which is true. But yeah, but this is a team that's going to need offense, particularly if you don't bring back one of those corner guys or either of them.
Seattle's not going to pay that though.
You don't think so?
No, they don't. They don't do that.
Yeah, they got a lot of pitchers they got to take care of in the near future too.
Are they even at 54% right now?
Help us find a home for Bo Bichette. Team name, contract. Let's see how you do. Closest to the pin on this one.
Okay.
That'd be great. Thanks to Mountain Dew, sponsoring today's episode of Baseball Today. With bold flavors and a refreshing citrus kick, Mountain Dew, perfect for any occasion, whether it's those beach days, a boat day, out on the golf course day, going to the ballpark day, or just about anything in between. For us, it'll be warehouse day. We told you we got Floorball 4 coming up later this week. Dalton Feely loves it when we all get together because he's just a happy-go-lucky guy, but also he offers Mountain Dew to everybody in the building. Did you go grab yourself a Mountain Dew? Did you get yourself a Mountain Dew? Did you get Rosie, can I get you a Mountain Dew? Plouffe, can I get you a Mountain Dew? This is what he does. It's not annoying. It's a lot of love, and he knows that we all love it. So the next time you're doing anything as summer winds down, you could be heading to the beach. You can be going on a bike ride. You can be going to the golf course. You can get ready and go to the ballpark. Whatever it is, the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew, it's the perfect pairing. So if that's what you're looking for, go grab yourself a Mountain Dew, please. Thank you. All right. Were you more shocked last night to see 42-year-old Justin Verlander crank it up and throw 98 miles an hour on that strikeout pitch? Or see Luis Ariz take a feeble third swing and then say, wow, that was a hell of a pitch right there?
Oh, I mean, I look at Luis Ariz. I'm like, dude, obviously, like everyone's gonna have a swing like that, but it is Luis Ariz. He usually makes contact, so that was a little shocking. And people saying, I'm not shocked with either of these. Okay, that's my answer. Verlander, 42 is not that old, people. I'm telling you right now. Okay, I feel great at 39. It's just a couple more years, and look at this guy. He's an absolute specimen.
98.
I'm not shocked by either of these, Chris.
Yeah, there are generational guys. You know, Nolan Ryan is the guy that I grew up with, and I'm old enough to remember him throwing no-hitters into his 40s and still fire the ball.
That would shock me. No hitter by Verlander would shock me. But rearing back and throwing one like that, I mean, he's been doing that for 20 years.
Yeah. But it is incredible what the body could do. If you added up all of Jamie Moyer's pitches when he was like 46, I'm not so sure they'd get to 98 miles an hour. Incredible.
Think about Justin Verlander. The guy is, how much has he made? Like, he's one of the richest people that's ever played the sport of baseball. He's got to be top 5 in contracts, right?
Sure.
Something like that.
Yeah.
He's got no stress. He's got all the ability in the world to keep himself at tip-top shape. He looks great. He's doing exactly what he needs to be doing.
I wonder what would make him call it quits? We know that the year statistically has not been good, but obviously he could still throw again next year and we wouldn't be like, what is he doing? Huh?
He doesn't have kids, does he?
Yes.
He does?
Yeah, they have a daughter. She's probably 3 or 4, I'm guessing.
Oh, okay. My bad, JB. Me and JV are not buddies.
That's okay. Just care a little
he
bit.
He likes me because I was an easy out. For sure.
That's sweet. But it wouldn't shock me if he comes back next year. I'm just curious, what's the line in the sand for him? Is it if he feels like he totally can't compete and that's when he's going to walk away? Or Like, does he really want to be doing this next year at 43 years old? He's going to have teammates that are 21 years old.
I honestly don't know. I'm not in his head. I would imagine a guy like that is heavily contemplating ending his career, but
Right.
he can still throw 98 and feels like he's got some bullets left in him. It's like, why? That's what with those guys, and I'm close with, Stafford, and it's kind of like similar situation, but I think Stafford's probably still playing better than maybe JV is comparatively.
Mhm.
That's kind of what he says. Like, if I can still go out there and play good football, like, he's like, why wouldn't I?
Could you imagine yourself if you were still like, if you had stayed the same player, let's say at age 39, could you still imagine being on flights to Kansas City at 2 a.m.?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know. I was over it. That's because I just felt like I wasn't in a good position anymore.
Right.
At the time, I don't know. At the time, I just wasn't into it. But if I was still playing really well and had opportunities, that was the biggest thing, is I just didn't have opportunities. If you had legit opportunities and I signed these big deals and I was, heck yeah, man. I do it. I'm still doing it, Chris.
True.
I'm just making like a fraction.
Yeah, one gazillionth of what you made.
The money is not there. I'm still taking those Actually, my next trip is to Kansas City.
Sorry.
I'm making a lot less.
Could you imagine, though, if they were calling your game? Well, here he is, Trevor. Hard to believe, year 16 for Trevor Plouffe in this game. Yeah, he just passed the 300 home run mark. Good for him. Wonder if he's going to keep going to year 17. Still productive, an OPS plus of 108.
He mashes lefties. Can't play defense for shit.
Good clubhouse guy. They got a pinch run for him out of the box.
Oh, man.
All right.
Hell of a clubhouse guy.
Yeah, that's good. That'll do it for today's show. We are back at it again on Wednesday for our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, our awesome intern, Sawyer. That is the uber-talented and still swinging it, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. We will see you Wednesday here on Baseball Today, presented to you by Mountain Dew.